Premiership. It was a thrilling match, witnessed by John Motson.
Life without Kevin Keegan starts here for the Newcastle supporters in the sellout crowd at Villa Park. But if they've lost one hero, they can pin their hopes on one who's still around. Peter Beardsley, who'll be 36 next Saturday, but plays with the joy and imagination of a much younger man, may still be asked to play some part in the coaching shake-up if and when a new manager is appointed. As for today, Beardsley is pushed up alongside Alan Shearer because Les Ferdinand failed a morning fitness test, but he is on the bench. Robbie Elliott comes in on the left, and with Rob Lee suspended, Keith Gillespie is back after missing 2 games. Ginola and Asprilla are still both injured. The presence in the Villa side of Dwight Yorke, a reminder of the hat-trick he scored when Villa lost 4-3 at Newcastle in September. But Mark Draper, who was sent off in that match, is now out after a hernia operation, and the Villa midfield is further weakened by an injury to Ian Taylor. The return of Gareth Southgate after a 7-match absence fills one hole, and there's also a recall for Newcastle-born Tommy Johnson, but no place, even on the subs bench, for Sasa Čurčić. Well, Brian Little, a Newcastle fan when he was a boy, has just agreed a new contract here at Villa Park, so he will not be in the frame for the vacant job. Referee Graham Poll got a call at 9 o'clock this morning to replace the injured Graham Barber. And Newcastle in the first half are defending the goal to the right, behind which their supporters are congregated at what has to be described as the start of a new era in the history of this famous club. Steve Watson playing at right back, into Shearer. Gillespie's out on the right. Beardsley making his way towards the penalty spot now. It's cleared by Carl Tyler, only as far as Batty. Here's Gillespie. Watson had crept into the attack there, and it's Peacock who comes over to follow the run of Milosevic. Beardsley. Well, these clubs are 4th and 6th at the start of play, so quite apart from what's happened at Newcastle this week, it's a critical match in Premiership terms. And there's a really buoyant atmosphere inside the ground from both sets of supporters. This is Beresford. And here's Shearer. Oh, and Clark came in there, and that was nicely set up for Lee Clark. Alan Shearer, the unselfish provider, but Clark's shot going away with Bosnich covering the post. Good touch, though, from the Newcastle number 9. Dwight Yorke on the chase. Oh, they've been caught out here, Newcastle! And he hits the side netting. But there have been 1 or 2 questions posed there about the ball from inside the Villa half, catching out a square line defence. Obviously, no flag, but no goal either. This is Clark. Elliott's to his left. This is Beardsley. But he couldn't find Shearer. Staunton for Villa, and he's lost it in a bad position for them. Clark. Elliott. Shearer pulls away from his marker in the centre. It's a good-looking ball. Really well found by Robbie Elliott, or nearly. It was a lovely curved pass that cut the defender out. Just goes to show how aware Alan Shearer is. In that split second, he just got himself a yard of space. is Gillespie. And it's still Gillespie. Two very promising runs here in the early stages by the right winger. This was Gillespie quite happy to take the defenders on, one after the other. Now it's York and Beresford here. Oh, and the goalkeeper's kick didn't find its target. It's Johnson. Well, Shaka Hislop, trying to clear his lines, just gave Tommy Johnson a sight of that, and that's all the Geordie-born Villa man needed. He came in on goal. He could have played it inside to Milosevic there, but went for goal himself. Nelson. Beardsley's got Shearer ahead. Clark's trying to get forward as well. Staunton covering Shearer, but has he? The answer's no. Shearer's in here on goal. It's in. It's gone underneath the body of Bosnich, and Alan Shearer has got the Newcastle supporters jumping around with excitement. After a worrying week, that's the sort of boost they were looking for, and who else to provide it, courtesy of Staunton, than Alan Shearer. It was a one-against-one that the defender really should have won, but when you're up against Shearer, you can take nothing for granted. And neither could Bosnich, because although the shot, it was just beyond his left arm, and the power took it in from Shearer. But Staunton there slipped up, and he was punished. What a good start for him. Oh, helped on by Shearer to Beardsley. That combination worked well there. Staunton's been given the slip again. Mark Bosnich out. Good passing again between the three Newcastle players. Watson gets the cross in. Here comes Elliott. There goes Shearer. What's happened here? Clark puts it back. No. Is it a goal? It looks as though it is. Bosnich has come tearing out to complain to the referee, and Graham Cole has waved him away. And Newcastle have gone into a two-goal lead. They're congratulating Lee Clark. It was quick thinking. But the goalkeeper had the ball. Alan Shearer pulled in with the left arm a little bit there. Now, did that affect the way Bosnich fell? Lee Clark wasn't going to argue. He put it straight back in the empty net. Newcastle are 2-0 up. Bosnich feeling that the little tug by Shearer caused him to fall, although from here it wasn't terribly apparent whether it really did. Terry McDermott, he won't mind either, with Arthur Cox there. The goalkeeper certainly lost his balance, and Lee Clark, quick thinking and a very accurate return. The return for Newcastle is a 2-0 lead. Now Shearer is penalised. Well, Brian Little and Alan Evans will have a view on that. Townsend. York. Oh, he's got away from Philippe Albert. Johnson's in a good position. This is Milosevic. And this is Staunton. Deflection, save, corner. Staunton trying to make amends for his part in the first goal. Hits this with that trusted left foot. Might have got a touch off Johnson, but certainly off Hislop. Ehiog into the 6-yard box. Milosevic coming in at the back, corner again. Played short by Wright to Staunton. That was Johnson. Two up, and who knows what's to come next. Shearer. And still Shearer. He grabbed it, Bosnich, as Shearer attempted the curler. Oh, Albert's mistake. Peacock tries to cover it, and does. Dwight York denied. But at the expense of a free kick. It was a fairly desperate situation, that, for Newcastle. Once Albert had let York go. So Ehiog and Tyler are up there for the diagonal one from Southgate. Albert's header out, this is right. Driven in low, oh, it's got to be Dwight York. It's that man again. And he's put Aston Villa back in the game. With 6 minutes left in the first half. The free kick taken by Gareth Southgate. It's Alan Wright here, who's got a lot of room and time to measure the cross. It hits Peacock on its way, and Dwight York just tucks it in, as a striker of his quality should and does. York, who scored 3 in the first match at Newcastle, opens Villa's account today and gives Brian Little some hope at 2-1. Referee waves away the appeals for a free kick. Dwight York has possession anyway. And he's found Johnson. That's a good strike. Well, how a game can turn. And at that moment, Mr. Pole brings to an end a boisterous, storming first half. Steve Shaunton has gone straight to the referee to complain, I would imagine, about the second Newcastle goal. Alan Shearer having got the first, then Clark got the second after Shearer had appeared to tug the goalkeeper, and as they go off, Bosnich having to be restrained by Paul Barron, the Villa coach. Alan Evans has come onto the pitch as well, just to calm the goalkeeper down and get him away from the referee. And Mr. Pole is quite used to having people go up to him at the whistle. It was Graham Souness last week, and he's staying behind with his 2 assistants to let all that calm down. But it's a first half that rarely calmed down, and it ends Aston Villa 1, courtesy of Dwight York, bringing them back into it, Newcastle 2. You might describe the first half as electric, and if it was, well, the current was surely supplied partly by the departure of Kevin Keegan. It didn't afford me the time to tell you that it was Alan Shearer's 18th goal of the season, Lee Clark's first, and Dwight York's 13th in the last 16 games. So it stands at 2-1, and Villa are now attacking what was always known as the Holt End. This is Dwight York. And Milosevic goes in. Peacock missed it. Comes out to right. Anxiety for Newcastle there. This was a chance for Milosevic, but Peacock, in putting him off, missed the ball, scrambled away. Schimmiker, who came on for Nelson. York, Milosevic, Staunton's made a forward run now. It's still Milosevic, Johnson, Clark. Oh, a poor one from Peacock, intercepted by Southgate. Townsend to right. And Townsend again. Staunton. Johnson, oh that, oh, was a collision off the ball between Peacock and Milosevic. Or wait, no, Johnson I think it was who went down in the end. This is Staunton. York. Staunton! Staunton! Oh, surely Milosevic! It's 2-2! Sava Milosevic! So the penalty appeal didn't matter. Villa have equalised. And Steve Staunton gestures to the crowd. He'll be glad about his part in that goal, having given away the first today. Villa have come from 2 behind. Sava Milosevic on the end of things. Staunton might have gone down there. All credit to him for not doing so. Hislop gets a hand to it, but only to divert it into the path of Milosevic. Staunton was tackled there by Watson, but he got the shot in. And an easy goal for the number 9. In the 52nd minute, it's 2-2. And Staunton's at the heart of the action here, at both ends. Villa supporters able to make themselves heard. Brian Little will be pleased with his team's character here. Johnson lost that. Wright recovered it. Dwight York, and look where Hislop is, and Dwight York has put it wide. Well, old habits die hard, and the Newcastle defence were all over the place. The game will be stopped for the injury, but what on earth were they doing there? Dwight York, it's Darren Peacock here, with a crazy back pass, and Dwight York is outpacing Albert. Hislop is, what, 25 yards out of his goal? York unable to find the inviting empty net here. But there was nothing that the defender or the goalkeeper could do to stop him. He can still afford to smile. Those faces rather glum now, rather reminding me of what it was like at the end of last season for Newcastle. They do wear their emotions on their sleeve, those supporters. The pushing of Steve Staunton forward seems to have given Aston Villa an injection of strength and directness in midfield. So we've been playing an hour. And 2-2, and you wouldn't want to start speculating on what's going to happen next. Look at this. Albert's been caught out. And it's a good shot. Oh, it's going to be a penalty. It's a penalty. Albert on Milosevic. Graham Poll following up behind, pointed at the spot. He got the other side, but if now Albert seemed to play the ball there. That's why he contested the decision. But it's gone against him. Well, you wouldn't have wanted to have guessed what was going to happen next. We've got a penalty. And it's Dwight York, the scourge of Newcastle this season, with a chance to put Villa ahead for the first time in the game. Oh, saved by Hislop. York scrambled away by the goalkeeper and then by the defender. Would you believe it? Shaka Hislop reading Dwight York's intentions. As Villa's top scorer puts it too close to the goalkeeper, but they do have the corner. Ehiog's up for this, so is Skimica. And now Gillespie trying to chase it out. Well, the reaction to a missed penalty sending a buzz round the ground, or a saved penalty I should say. Goalkeeper reading it well. This is Watson. Oh, and they've got a man over here. It's Shearer on the ball. shot. Gareth Southgate contesting that with referee Poe, but the corner's already been taken. Albert's still on his way forward. Shearer's coming in. You can't take your eyes off this game for a second. Or off the ball if you're playing. Staunton. Oh, I say! Dwight York's through the middle. Can he do it this time? And Hislop's there again. It's a personal battle between these two at the moment. And York just can't win it. Hislop saved his penalty. And now he saves again, going the same way. And York has been injured. Now then, it perhaps won't matter quite so much, bearing in mind the penalty was not converted, but Albert is still upset about the decision. Well, I don't know. I think he missed the ball and took the player in the end. But he was able to rely on his goalkeeper to go the right way and make what could prove a critical save. This is Clark. Beardsley. Watson's coming up to his right, but here's Gillespie. Good effort, turned away by Bosnich. Showed a bit of sparkle today, Keith Gillespie, on his return. He does enjoy taking on defenders and shooting from distance. Bosnich was equal to it. Now Peacock and Albert have swapped round this time. Peacock's in the 6-yard box, Albert is deeper. And they let Batty free there, and Peacock was there. It's been beaten out by the goalkeeper. And what could have been 3-2 to Newcastle, could you feel almost be 3-2 the other way now? Villa have got a break on. It's Johnson. Oh, Milosevic fell over, but it might still be retrieved by Wright. Not quite. Well, there was no mean effort at the other end there. Mark Bosnich having to parry a shot from Darren Peacock. Which Batty actually set this up. Peacock was still in a forward position. Goalkeeper right behind it. Well, what entertainment these two teams have produced this season for the fans. And how well the supporters have turned the occasion into one to remember. Beardsley gets it back from Batty. Albert and Peacock still wait. This is Batty. It's now Gillespie. It needs a good cross. And the header out's only come to Lee Clark. Deflection, and it shaved the post as well. Well, he's already scored one. That just may have been the fingertips of Mark Bosnich from Lee Clark. It's going to come to Albert. Another corner. Peacock flicks it on. A swipe by Johnson that missed it. Well, Watson got himself into the action there. And Peter Beardsley has the shot, which is fielded in the end by Bosnich. Staunton. Is there still time for something? Very, very nearly. And it would have been typical of a cavalier performance from Steve Staunton since he switched to midfield if he'd produced the winning goal in stoppage time. And it ends a captivating match in an honourable draw. Shaka Hislop's penalty save in the end significant, as Aston Villa, with Milosevic equalising, coming back from 2 goals behind, but the Mark Bosnich, Alan Shearer incident on the second goal will cause something of an inquest. Shearer got the first, Clark got that second one, but all in all, the legacy of Kevin Keegan will linger for some time yet. Newcastle played with great spirit and urgency, but Villa, with Staunton outstanding when he moved positions, had the character for the fight, and a first-class Premiership fixture, which thoroughly entertained a sellout crowd, ends in a 2-2 draw. It may not be the ideal result for either team in terms of championship aspirations, but my goodness me, it was entertaining.
A roller coaster of an afternoon, would you agree?
Certainly that, yes. Typical Newcastle United performance, I thought. A lot of excitement, a lot of action both ends, and probably a fair result on the whole 90 minutes. And obviously delighted we didn't get beat. Obviously we went 2-0 up, thinking you're possibly going to win the game. Not to be. Penalty save from Shakarizak, which I'm absolutely delighted for him anyway, because he's coming for a little bit of criticism, but I thought a fair result on the 90 minutes.
There was definitely no doubt that there was contact, and it's up to people at home to decide whether or not that impeded me or not. That's really, I've seen the two shots of it. It appears on TV to be inconclusive, but obviously from my position, my momentum was stopped and then let go again. And you know yourself, if you do that to anyone walking down the street, if they start to run past you and you pull them and then let them go, sometimes your forward momentum takes you, and then when you pull back and you go again, you just lose everything, and which is what happened to me.
Last time I spoke to Kevin was Wednesday evening, sorry, and he was very bullish. He was very buoyant about the way things are going, but I'm quite convinced that he'll have been near a television set. I believe it was beamed all over Europe. He might not have been in Europe actually, but if it was, he might have been sat in the bar with a San Miguel and watching the game, and I'm sure he'd have been proud of the lads today, the way they went out and performed against a very good Aston Villa team.
Are you and Arthur Cox happy to take this on for the rest of the season if need be?
Yes, thoroughly enjoyed the last, certainly today, the result, but certainly a good result for us really, considering what's gone around the club. But yeah, I mean, we're governed by what's the powers to be, the directors, and I'd like to go on record to say whoever the directors bring in, they'll be bringing in the right man they think can do a job to take over Kevin Keegan, and whoever that be, they will do the best what they think for Newcastle United, not for anyone else, not for anything that's been said in the past, only for Newcastle United, and that's, if they do that, I'll be happy as well.
Well, Newcastle didn't play like they were racked with tension and worries about the managerial situation. They played well, didn't they?
I thought the two teams were excellent. I thought two very good teams. Ball was top class and the entertainment was first class.
Yeah.
For 35 minutes, Newcastle played as well as I've seen them for a long time. Excellent.
Yeah. Now, Mark Bosnich was unhappy with a little bit of the treatment he took. He wants us to clear it up. I think that's what he said just now. So shall we try and do that?
We'll try for you, Mark. This is Alan Shearer for the goal. If you see his left hand come out here, he just gives him a little tug there, but there's not much in it. I think he just loses his balance in the turf, and Clark puts in the back of the net. Now, I don't know if this was a ploy from Newcastle, because later on in the first half, as we'll see, Peacock does the same thing again. Hand comes out, just puts him off, and he kicks it. He's clearly unhappy, and he gets very, very upset. And at half-time, he's got to be restrained. Yeah. And maybe they've gone it specifically to upset him.
He stayed pretty unhappy, didn't he? Because even at the end of the match, he was shaking his head about,
about
the treatment he'd had. Now, Shearer, apart from that little piece of shenanigans, had an all-round wonderful game again. We seem to say this week after week.
Well, he scored the goal, but his all-round play for a front man was almost perfection. It really was. It's just fantastic. He's up there on his own. This example, he gets the ball on the left-hand side. Not much on here. Not many men in the box. He cuts inside. Only one thing in his mind. Great hit and a good stop by Bosnich. This example, how he gets a shot in here, I will never know. He's got no right to get a hit. He's back to the goal, there's three round him. Goes to hit again, and eventually it's a great block. But that's what front play is all about, and there's nobody better than him.
Yeah. Villa had a pretty good day too. I mean, as you say, it was a terrific match all round.
I thought Villa were excellent. Yeah. To come back from 2-0 down showed a lot of character.
Yeah. And they switched things around, didn't they?
Well, great switch with the manager. Staunton played at centre-back for the first 25-30 minutes, sold the jersey at the first goal, but when he moved into midfield, it was a different story. He burst into the box here. Good save by his lot. Milosevic puts in the back of the net. He had 2 or 3 great passes, and then just before the end, He hits it from about 40 yards, no way he could score from there. But nearly does. And he was the difference between the two teams in the second half. But a great advert for English football, must admit.
I think from Terry McDermott's quote, Trevor, I think Kevin's probably in Spain. Is he? San Miguel was a bit of a a bit of a giveaway there. Where do you stand on Kevin at Newcastle? I mean, he was getting eulogised last week despite walking out on the club. People were saying, well, terrific, wonderful, he did marvellously well. And yet I noticed the newspapers yesterday, and we've seen one or two of the early editions for tomorrow, they've turned the other way. They're saying, well, he spent 60 million, didn't win anything.
Well, I think people have got short memories, quite honestly. I mean, he revitalised the club and the whole area of Newcastle. I mean, if you go back 5 years, when he took over, February '92, they were struggling towards the bottom of the second division, and I was at the last game of the season at Leicester when they just stayed up. Then he said, you know, we're going to go up from here. He got a promotion the following season. You know, it was a fantastic 5 years, really, and certainly the £60 million that people said, well, he spent all that money. He generated that money by his success. You know, they had, I think, a gate of 15,000 just before he took over. They're now 37,500 capacity. You know, talking about moving to a bigger ground, although that might be a gamble now. But, I mean, you know, the actual, whoever takes over has got a squad of players that I just think would be the end. If he can get, you know, one or two defensive players, he'll be in there for a trophy.
We still don't really know quite why he left exactly, do we? Lots of people are guessing at it. Would you expect Kevin to come back sort of in a week in time and tell us exactly, and perhaps tell one of the newspapers or what?
I think he's got to clarify. I think also, you know, the club and Sir John Hall has to clarify exactly what the situation. But there's no doubt, you know, he was very drained and seemed affected by it. I think he was in a tunnel, and I think looking back on it a few weeks later, I think, you know, he might even regret having departed because he doesn't quite, I think, realise, you know, the backing he still had in the North East.
OK. Now, Bobby Robson says he doesn't want the job. Kenny Dalglish will say he wants it. Is that right?
Well, I don't know. He hasn't told me, but I would say they'd be foolish not to go for him. He's the man with the track record. If they want to win something, they want to go and get him.
He stayed very quiet. He hasn't said he doesn't want it or anything like that.
I'm sure if they did go for him, he would take it. I think he's the man for the job.
You think he's ready to get back into
full-time
management?
I've always said he needs to be a #1. He loves football. He lives and breathes football, and I think this is the job for him. I agree with you. I think it's a great job to go into.
Isn't he doing something with Rangers, though?
Oh, I don't know what the position is at Rangers. You'd have to ask him.
So, well, I would ask him if I was given the chance. Whether I get an answer out of him remains to be seen, though.
He loves to talk to you.
Eh?
He loves to talk to you.
He likes to talk to me.